Good
No, it's not
afternoon,
that.
Block
No, that's
Podcast
me.
Studio.
I won't say that.
Oh, then stop looking at me and do it then, girl.
Good afternoon. Block Podcast Studios in the building. Your host, Montana. Woo, woo.
Co-host Vernon Tyers. Woo woo.
All right. So, anyway, what week was that? Okay. We are having a sunny, good day today. You guys are tuned in to find out what we're going to be talking about today, right? So, this is for all the entrepreneurs and all the entrepreneurs
and future business owners, charitable gifting organizations,
all right,
real estate investors.
About nonprofit and for-profit businesses. Okay, so let's get to the announcements. Let me get my dates squared away. I wasn't ready. All right, so the 501c3 training class, for-profit training class is starting August the 14th from 1:30 to 4:30. So please, if you are an entrepreneur and you're asking questions about nonprofit, how do I start my business as a nonprofit? What is the benefit of a nonprofit? How do I grow my business with my LLC as a nonprofit? You want to be in that training class on the 14th from 1:30 to 4:30. If you want to register for the classes, give me a call, 216-815-7300, or you can register at block.org. So BBLOTT.org. Also, we have the grant classes is coming back again August the 15th from 6 o'clock to 8:30. So if you want to know about grants, want to get some information, some training on grants, and you have a nonprofit and you need some funding to come in your way, the grant class is going down August 15th from 6 to 8:30. And then the real estate class is starting back. Woo, woo, yay. Real estate starting back August 17th from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8:30. So that is going to be a 6-week class. The grant class is going to be a 4-week class. So that grant class go pretty fast, but you get a lot of information in that grant class. Last but not least, well, two more last but not least, Ms. Dora's class is going down this Saturday. So if you want to do the group home training, get your accredited hours for the state of Ohio, come to that class this Saturday at 11 o'clock, 11 to 5 o'clock p.m. So if you're interested, it'll be here at 503 East 200th Street, Suite 103. She will meet you here and register you at that time. Also, last but not least, is the grant expo, not expo, but seminar we're having on Monday, August the 8th. We're going to have the grant writer coming in. Miss Nicole's coming in. She's going to give all the information to get you set up and ready to receive your grants, your first grant, second grants, third grants, etc. So you want that information and you are a nonprofit or a for-profit and you want to get that information for your business on how do I obtain a grant writer, come here August the 8th. From 6 o'clock p.m. to 8:30. So we will have food and drinks here. Not drinks like alcohol, but we have like fruit punch and water and juice. All right. So come here. That you have to register for that class too. I mean, it's not a class, but you have to register for that because we only have limited seating. So 216-815-7300. Limited seating on Monday. 216 right here. 815-7300. The grant information. So if you, like I said, if you are a nonprofit or for-profit, just come get the information, sit in. It's only a 1-day event and get the information and move forward from there. If you're going to be a business owner or not, or you're going to come to the grant writing class or real estate, it's definitely helpful to know that information on what you can do and what you can proceed on doing in those business classes. What else is up?
Well, I just wanted to say something more about the charitable gifting organizations and nonprofits. A lot of people, everyone don't have to start a nonprofit, or this is not just geared for people who want to start or fund or found their own nonprofit. If you belong to a nonprofit, or if you are thinking about joining a nonprofit, and there's a group of you, this class that we have at 503 East 200th Street in Euclid is suited for anybody that wants to take part in nonprofit or charitable gifting organizations. That means attorneys, accountants, those of you that wants to get in and become officers or lead the direction of some of these organizations, please contact me or Montana, like I said, that number, or she said that number right here at the bottom, that 216-815-7300, and understand how you can be of service to a nonprofit or charitable gifting organization.
All right. For the ones that is tuning in, and this is your first time coming in on our channel, don't know anything too much about, the business aspect, but you desire to have a business, and you have a little bit of information about how to open up or run an LLC, a little bit of or no knowledge of how to start a nonprofit, you can come and sit in on one of our classes for free, especially the first one. So the first couple of classes, we get right into the nitty gritty of policy and procedure of how the IRS wants you to look as a business or as a whole. And then they give you ideas on, what to do with that nonprofit, how to grow the nonprofit, who you want part of your nonprofit as your board of directors, things like that, how to open up a bank account, how to set up funding, it's a how-to thing. And then once you have that how-to, then we go right into setting it up. So we go to the Secretary of State. You got a name for it. We give you definitions of what an incorporator is, what an agent is, or who's going to be the agent. Then we go straight into IRS. So IRS, what's a C Corp, S Corp, LLC, so proprietorship, a little bit about trust. We go into a little bit about contract law, just a little bit on how to sign your name on documents, how to close contracts, open contracts, things of that nature that you have no clue of when you open up a business that this stuff exists. So you want to get well trained on running your business successfully. So you definitely want to just stop in and just sit in on one of our classes. I don't care if it's a business class, the grant class, or the real estate class. Just sit in and say, hey, now I know what I want to do. Let's push forward.
Let me ask you a question. I have, I know I heard about your class.
You heard about my class?
I heard about your class.
Yeah, you in it.
And how can it help me? I went on the Secretary of State. I filled out my paperwork, and the EIN number was free. Why do I need to sit in your class?
Why you need to sit in my class? Okay, can you tell me what your EIN gonna be doing? Like, if it's free, then what can you do with your EIN number?
I mean, I can file my taxes.
Okay.
Open up a bank account.
All right, that's all.
And I can go ahead and do my contracting.
All right, so tell me this then. If you didn't sit in you said you sat in my class or you didn't?
No, I said I didn't. Why do I need to sit in your class?
All right, because you need to know what's the purpose of the business. Okay. Like how to grow it. Like if you're going to be having a business, where are you going to start? How are you going to start?
Okay. Well,
what's your tax bracket since you got an EIN number? What tax bracket do you sit in as far as tax purposes?
My tax purpose? I don't know. I'm an LLC.
That's what everybody else say. Okay. Everybody like, I don't know. I just clicked this button. I gave me EIN. Are you a C corporation, an S corporation? Are you LLC? Are you a sole prop?
Okay.
Tell me something about your business.
I'm an independent contractor.
Okay,
I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do tradesmen. I'm gonna go out here and do carpentry.
All right, you got partnership with it or just by yourself?
Okay, so what can your class offer me? So
pretty much, our class can offer how to structure it and how to develop those businesses correctly. You will know what you know. Like people come in all the time and say, I got an EIN number. Okay, tell me, how did you apply for that EIN number? Are you a C corporation? Are you a partnership? What type of EIN did you apply for? And then we can probably break down a strategy on what you, usually people come in, they don't even know. They get the EIN, I don't know, Montana, I just picked the number and that was it. I don't even know what I got. And I'm like, well, why? This is your business, it's your baby, it's growing. Why you don't know?
So
yeah.
Here's the thing. Now I'm out of that. I'm out of that.
You out of that?
I'm
okay.
back in burning tires. So a lot of people, when you put together a business, you put it together for purpose. You got to operate in purpose. And the first and foremost thing that you got to think about is how would it affect you financially? So if you're putting together LLC, S Corp, it don't even matter. Why are you doing it? How is it going to financially take care of your household? And how is it going to take care of your legacy at the same time? So if you're merely just putting together a LLC and then getting an EIN number and you don't have any other documents and don't have any other operations, then you're basically flat-foot hustling.
Right.
Okay? You're getting taxed. You're probably, 9 times out of 10, you're probably getting taxed the wrong way. All right? So when we start talking about purpose and tax, if you want to operate like a corporation, LLC allows you to act like a corporation. So if you're an S corporation, then you have some perpetuity in your existence. And most people don't understand that we put together businesses so we can make money, maybe finance that nice home, finance a nice car. You see what I'm saying? And if you are operating as a sole proprietor, then what happens is you cannot finance that house the way you want to unless you claiming an enormous amount of your revenue. See, but when you file as an S corporation, it allows you to take an income and still have some tax benefits. You don't have to worry about writing off all the income because there's taxes in between some of those forms that'll help you finance that home.
All right. Do you do taxes? You got a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, we do taxes, but I do more tax planning than I do tax prep.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. So definitely, I know a lot of companies that come here that have issues with taxes. So if you guys have issues with taxes and you want tax prep, here we go right here.
Well, more tax planning. When you come to this class, in this class, you learn how to set yourself up for the right tax planning. If you set your LLC up, and I know there's a lot of organizations out here that says forget the LLC, it's because you're going to be taxed wrong and all that stuff. Nah, the LLC gives you flexibility for asset protection and tax purposes. So if you know the right stuff, then you operate with the right stuff, okay? So you come on in here, you get your LLC done or your S corporation, all right? But just don't be misinformed and just be left out there in the wind. You come here, get your LLC, learn how to put your LLC together or your S corporation, and then you can operate as such.
Exactly. So what else we have to?
And let's talk about that nonprofit. I'm about to go into one of my prospective students again. I already did my nonprofit.
You already did your nonprofit?
Yeah, I did it as a LLC, and I have my EIN number, and I'm just waiting on my 501c3 to come through.
Oh, when did you apply for that?
Why do I need to take your class?
When did you apply for your 501c3?
I didn't apply for it yet. I'm just waiting for somebody to help me. But I got my nonprofit. I got an LLC, a nonprofit LLC, and an EIN number.
All right. So first thing is, do you know a little bit about what you're getting ready to step into as a nonprofit? Because LLCs, a nonprofit can't be an LLC. You know that, right?
It said that on the state website.
Yeah, it's for a different purpose, though. It's not for a 501c3.
It's for a different purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what you gonna help me do?
Well, first of all, you're gonna sit in the class, and then you're gonna have an understanding of what the IRS wants you to be in compliance. And as moving forward as a 501c3, what steps do you need to take? And the understanding that you need to have. You mean
to tell me that I went on the state website and the state lied to me telling me that I'm a nonprofit LLC, and you try to tell me I'm not?
I'm telling you that even though it says nonprofit, there's another one that says nonprofit.
Oh, Miss Montana, you just want some money.
No, I don't. I don't want nobody's money, okay? No. But no, you need to understand the difference between the nonprofit and a nonprofit LLC. A lot of people, they even have YouTube videos that people are developing nonprofit LLCs, and then they think they can turn around and do a 501c3, which you're going to get denied. You're going to get denied. You have to be a corporation, an INC, N Corp, COP, whatever, to be a nonprofit establishment.
Okay. So, and she's exactly right. And in our culture, we got to stop this. We got to stop doing the easiest thing, trying to find shortcuts to get where we want to be. Okay, sometimes you just need to do what you ought to do to get it done right so you don't have to have it done over. Okay, so again, talking about this class and the process that our members go through, we like to teach you to do it right the first time. All right? Don't start looking at YouTube and start trying to do it on your own, because when you do it yourself, it can be costly. My contractor told me that one time before. He said, look, you should have called me the first time, because now I got to charge you to demo what you got going on in this house and then charge you for what you should have had me do in the first place. So the same thing when you come to this class or deal with any other professional is that they got to unravel what you did because you tried to do it on your own. As my father say, you a quarter broke trying to be a penny rich. Don't do that. Just get with some professionals, people that's going to be vested into what you got going on, your vision, and let them help you develop your nonprofit.
Right, and invest in the business. Invest in yourself, invest in this business. Make sure it looks good when you present it and move forward. It's not on like raggedy paper. It's not on, cardboard. You're doing it very professional. So when you present it to your clients or to out in the public or the community, you look good. So how you look is how your business look. You want to look good, how your business look good. When you step forward and move forward, people going to accept that because they can say, okay, you're very professional. You look good. Everything's clean. Got a clean establishment. I like what you're doing. So that's your reputation. That's your name. That's what you're going forward. You created it. You build it. So move forward like that. A lot of people that's starting businesses. The next question is a lot of people starting businesses. They're coming out their pocket, they owe money to get their business or to get that nonprofit up and running. They're emptying out their whole bank accounts to just start this business because they really believe in their mind that nonprofit is theirs. And that's the next thing. The nonprofit does not belong to you. You do not own this nonprofit. It belongs to the community. So that's why they always say fundraising or grants or whatever sponsorships, this is where the funding comes in because you go out to the community to get help. So in that help, that's where the money comes in. Stop, coming out your pocket on that nonprofit because you will be broke. I had a guy that sat next to me and he put a nonprofit animal shelter together and he invested. He pulled out $40,000 or $50,000. I forgot how much it was. It was a lot of money. And when he got his nonprofit animal shelter up and running, the shelter was doing so well. They was getting so much money, like they was overflowed with money, that he said, hey, the money that I invested in this nonprofit, I'm just going to go in here and take it back. So I'm going to go in the bank account and just get what I put in it, just take it out. He got hit with a whole bunch of fines, and the IRS was getting ready to lock him up. He had to get 2 attorneys on a case, and after they finished with him, he hated nonprofits. He's like, I don't want to be no nonprofit. You ain't got nobody teaching the strategy on how to run these businesses correctly. And they hit him up with so much money that he changed his nonprofit animal shelter to a for-profit animal shelter, which was crazy. But if he had learned to do it the correct way, then he wouldn't have had those issues. So a lot of you guys are having these nonprofits and say, hey, I graduated from college with my nonprofit degree or something. And then when you move forward in the community and you don't do it right and don't read them books, IRS give you free books. Read the publications. They give them to you. You can print them out and read them on a day-to-day basis. And people just looking at money. I want to get this money because I see such and such got a nonprofit. I want to do the same thing they're doing and make the same amount of money they making, and that's going to, save my life for the rest of my life. No, it doesn't work like that. So we're going to push again a strategy. Come to the program, get the training, get the education, get the knowledge, and then move forward. But if you try to do it yourself or you look at YouTube videos, every YouTube video is in a different state. So their laws and regulations might be totally different than your state. So when you putting stuff together, just, be leary of scammers.
I mean, I'm not going to say necessarily that scammers. We'll talk about that later, but
right, we'll talk about that later.
It's just misinformation. That's all. Okay, you got to be a student of your craft. That's all. That's all it comes down to. If you're not a student of your business, then find somebody that's a student of their craft that can help your business, and you can verify the information and verify their credentials at the same time.
Yeah.
But Montana is exactly right when we start talking about the money, and that's one thing I want to point out to everybody. Either people are misinformed about the nonprofit. Somebody making it look real sexy, so they do some of the most selfish things with a nonprofit, or they get scared of doing one. Once you understand what that organization is, then you would understand the benefits that come with that. See, had it been someone else that already took this class, they know better than to invest $50,000 inside of the organization. Okay, your job is not to put your own money in there. It's for you to go out and raise money inside that organization.
Right.
And to be honest with you, if you start a business, you're supposed to be raising money inside the business anyway, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit. The goal is for you not to sink all your money into it, but invest a little bit to get more. That's what it comes down to. And I don't know if you noticed, but what I'm doing is I'm asking questions that we've been probably asked throughout the week.
Yeah, okay.
Since Monday.
Right.
And two of them came today. But one other question I got was, how do I put together my business or structure my business where I could sell it?
Okay.
All right. So, number one thing, you got to have a profitable business. All right. If you just got a business and you got a name and it's just aged, I don't care what nobody tell you. Just because your business is 10 years old, it doesn't mean that it has credit. Mm-hmm. All right. People talking about I'm looking for I got an aged organization, LLC or corporation, and I want to go ahead and sell it to this person for $20,000, $25,000. That's absurd. You have no revenue, no accounts. Nobody know what your credibility really is, right?
Right.
So if you put together a business and you're forming a business so you can actually sell it one day, then that means you have to structure it like a corporation, and you have to have revenue that come in where you are operating in the black. Okay. The second thing that's most important when it comes down to a business is that you got to have consistency in contracts, what we call longevity, right? Longevity, or we call it goodwill, all right? And that is when you got clientele that sticks with the business more than 3 years. That's when it's favorable. So those of you that's out here selling business, or those that's getting ready to buy a business, and they can't prove to you that they have legitimate revenue and a clientele base that won't leave for 3 years, then they're not even worth looking at, because you're going to operate in the headache, okay? You're going to operate in the red zone, and when that person leave, they might take them clients with them, all right? So just remember that. That's one question that I got this week.
Okay. What else are questions? Like, we usually do mocks in the class, so that way people get a better understanding of when they start in this nonprofit. People going to tell you no. Like, I'm not donating to your organization. I'm not giving you none of my, no money to support your nonprofit. So the thing is, if somebody tell you no, like, do you really get anything else to lose if you haven't gained anything from them in the beginning?
Oh, you talking about rejection?
Rejection, because a lot of people don't like rejection. So my time I have my nonprofit, I go out here and do, ask for funding. And every time I go somewhere, they always tell me no, they're not going to give. And then you need to question that, why they're not giving back into the community that they don't live in. So usually people have businesses in your community that don't live in your community, and they take the money that you're getting from the community, and they go back to their neighborhood and beautify it and make it look good and make it look safe and nice and everything. And then they come back the next day and come into your community and make all this money off of you and that community. So why would they not want to give back into the community that they're getting all this funding and money from? Mm-hmm.
I think the no's will be easier to handle, and you will see more yeses if we learned as charitable gifting organizations to teach people who don't know why it's important
to give.
Charitable organizations exist. If they understand why foundations, organizations like us exist, then they'll give. When they go out here and they tell a story, see, first of all, you got to have a good story. If you don't have a good story behind your business,
yes,
people are going to lose we got too much things going on. We got inflation going on. We got 2 different viruses or epidemics that's going on. People, they short-minded right now. Attention spans are very, very short. So you got to be quick with your story. Right. Like, how are you helping? We got all these problems. How are you helping? I got rats next door in an abandoned building. How are you helping? You see what I'm saying? We got all these problems. How are you helping? Sell your story.
Right. You have to sell it.
And then ask. Then give your ask. All right? Then you ask for the money. Sell your story, ask for the money. And then you can always, when they say no, you go back to the story. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Do it again. Why not? You should have about 3 why nots before you leave that person.
Also, you have to debunk the belief that a lot of people think that nonprofits are broke. A lot of people think that nonprofits always begging and asking. Evidently, if you're begging and asking for something, that means you ain't got no money. You also have to present yourself as a good nonprofit, because there are some bad nonprofits out here that will ask for funding and will use funding to better their lifestyle. You have to show and prove that, hey, I'm a nonprofit and we're out here trying to save the community of kids. Keep the kids off the street and off the, getting into trouble. And I have programs that's going to help kids, further their education, going to help them become entrepreneurs in the future, things like that. And that you're putting your money or investment back into that community, or they're putting their money back into the community of helping youth programs, adult programs, whatever mission that you have in that community. They want to see, like, I'm going to give you this money, but where's my money going? I want to see what you're doing with the money. So sometimes it's better off to not ask for funding first. Ask for donations, like in-kind donations. Anything that's not cash, you can ask for that, and then see will they support that issue or that mission that you have of getting in-kind donations to grow your business. Because in-kind, basically you need money to get stuff, so just ask for them to get the stuff, and then you have stuff to grow the business. I had a meeting with University Hospital a couple of years ago, and that's the same thing they were saying, like, well, we give back to the community. We have a lot of nonprofits that ask us for money. And then when we give them the money, they give us a thank you letter, like, thank you for supporting this issue or supporting our mission. But we don't have no idea where that money went. So I say that's true. You don't have no idea where the money went. They ain't like they gave you a log and say, hey, this is where your dollars went. Your donation went to our program. So if you ask for an in-kind donation, they can see that. They say, hey, I need 20 laptops. And then you got 20 laptops they can see, and they see kids on those laptops doing homework or doing something or creating or growing a business or whatever. Say, okay, yeah, we gave back to the community. So those are the things that, people have no idea how to fundraise. They have no idea how to manage the money. They have no idea how to ask for money in the community. They have no idea to go to the bank and ask for sponsorships. Nothing. So it's all about how well you speak and how well you have a proposal together. What's your ideas that you put on paper? So when you put your stuff on paper, okay, does this make sense to me? So read it back to yourself. It's like, does this make sense to me so I can make it make sense to somebody else? So basically, if you have a story that you're telling someone and you have an end quote at the end of the story, pretty much like, hey, I'll support what you're doing. I'll give to your mission.
Mm-hmm. Now, we running short on time.
We is.
But I'm going to say one more thing.
Oh, dang, I talk too much.
Those people that have already contacted me about, I can't do this by myself. I got all this stuff I need to do. I just want to start my business. Let me tell you something. The reason why most people put together an organization is because they're trying to scale up. It don't make sense for you to do all of this and still operate like you're a sole proprietor. You're supposed to duplicate yourself. You're supposed to add velocity inside your business. That means that you're supposed to hire people. If you can't deal with other folks, why even put together an organization? Because that's what an organization is. It's plural. All right? You're supposed to be at one place while somebody else is at 20 other different places. So those of you that came to this class and said that, look, I don't have any board members. I don't have any people I want to operate with. I can't find help. You should have thought about that before you start talking about putting together a business, because you got to be able to be in 20 places at one time. You can't run all the operations. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay,
well, I'm just going.
So I know we about to close out. Give them their quick updates again.
Okay, so before we get to updates, I just want to just add on to that. So usually when people, he's saying that, they starting businesses, and pretty much what he said, I got a lot of people coming. I don't trust nobody. I ain't got no, you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no, people that you can say, hey, we are a bunch of entrepreneurs. Let's partner into this nonprofit and do something spectacular. So you go to family. The thing about family is that if you have your family on your board, it might be fine and dandy until something happen. Y'all get in a fight, y'all stealing money or whatever. Your family as well as, the back of your hand. So pretty much be mindful of that. So learn that aspect of being business professional. If they're not business professionals, then no. You have to find somebody and have a trust nature of somebody that you never met before to help you run your board of directors, all right? When you go for a job, human services, they say, wait, we got to trust you first because you might be stealing or coming on the job or whatever. So, no, we ain't going to hire you. They still hire you and look at your performance. So until my time is up, We can get into this another time or come to the class and find out. But until next Wednesday at noon, I'm your host, Montana. I can't do the updates, so rewind the tape. Whoop, whoop. And this is...
Bird Ty is your co-host. Whoop, whoop.
All right, see you guys next Wednesday.